Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Thursday, March 31st. So yesterday, like I said in the video, the arbitration was over and I did do stitching. I relaxed. I finished a book. Started a new book this morning. So I finished the book by Kirsten Moglen that was I Said Yes. It was pretty good. There was a twist at the end that I wasn't expecting, so it was good. The new book that I started reading is also by Kirsten Moglen. It is called The New Job. It's about a job. I have a link in the description box of all of Kirsten Moglen's books on Amazon. And, you know, in the realm of aiming to not spend so much money the rest of this year, although I do plan on splurging for my birthday and buying some patterns from 123 Stitch. I already have it like mapped out. But, you know, everyday impulse spending, things like that, I decided I really want to try to not spend money on books besides my Kindle Unlimited subscription. So like there's a book that I want to read and it's not available on Kindle Unlimited. So I had done this before, you know, the library has what's called Overdrive and the Libby app. So I went on there and I was able to put a hold on the book. So that's going to be my goal. Like I'm going to really attempt to do that because over the course of the year, I mean, I read most of my books from Kindle Unlimited because I'm already paying for the subscription. And I have to thank the subscriber that bought me the year's worth of subscription because I'm just starting to pay for it this month. I had the last year of it for free, which is just such a fantastic gift for someone who really reads. Yeah. But yeah, so that is my aim. And I had to go look for my library card and get the number and all that. But now I have the app and everything, and yeah, it's really great. So very excited for that. So today would have been my grandfather's 95th birthday. So happy heavenly birthday to my pop. You know, if there is a heaven, if there is somewhere that he is having his best afterlife, I hope he's having a good birthday. So there was that. And the winner of the junk journal, I picked the winner yesterday and already emailed them. The book is already in the mail. That's the great thing about having that Google form. You have all the information. Renisha Jefferson. So I hope you enjoy the junk journal. And I'm sure I'll have more giveaways in the future on my channel. I like doing stuff like that, but the mood has to strike me. You know what I mean? Coffee. Dark Magic. Green Mountain's Dark Magic is one of my favorite dark roast coffees. And I'm pretty simple. I just put a little thing of half and half in it. That's it. All right. So something I need to address that I've had a couple comments over the past couple of months. People commenting that there is no sound on the video. I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. I cannot stress to you how annoying it is to see those comments, only because you can trust going forward. I listen to some of every single video that is put up on YouTube because I normally put a timestamp for the motivational story or the true crime. So when I would not put up a video with no audio. I wouldn't do it. If there is no audio, it is something on your end. Telling me about it in a comment, I can't do anything about that. So please refrain from putting that in the comments. Trust that if a video is put up, that there has been sound in it. There is sound on my end. Because I know people I watch videos on my TV, on my computer, on my phone, on my iPad. I mean, there are many different ways to watch a video. If there is no sound, it is something on your end. Thank you. Yeah. All right, stitching update. I did work some more on the bloom one. And so I got the entire, this done down here in some of the red. The flowers are done completely in the red color, which is DMC Color Variations 4200, this really pretty color. So I will work more on that today. I will definitely do some more stitching. Yeah, it's coming along. I'm looking forward to being done with it. I feel like it's taken me a long time to get that done, because there was a couple days in there that I didn't stitch at all. But being off today and tomorrow, I'm hoping I can, you know, get that done. So I am off today and tomorrow. I got up today and I cleaned the house a bit, got some cleaning done because I hadn't really cleaned in a while. And it feels good to get that done. And when I clean our bathrooms, I wash the rugs and the towels. So I did that. I mean, it's taken some time. It is currently 1:25 p.m. And I mean, I had to take a shower, get myself ready. Today was trash day, so dealing with that. The raccoon had gotten in the trash again. So there's kind of a mess in the trash can that Bill's going to have to deal with. He's going to have to clean out the trash can. But tomorrow I'm going to have breakfast with my dad and do his taxes. So I'll be with him for a couple hours in the morning. And then Saturday I have a massage. And Bill's going to be gone for part of the day. They're painting the floor of the old boat to get it ready for sale. He really wants to get it sold because that's going to pay off, you know, getting his truck fixed and getting the current boat that he has repaired. So things happening, you know. Okay. No purchases. My order from 123 Stitch did ship today. Excuse me. All the buttons shipped. The pattern from Primrose Cottage Stitches is on back order. Not a big deal. Because after I'm done stitching the berries and blooms, my next piece is going to be my junk food cherub angel, the very first piece I ever did. I'm going to do that because I already have that situated and ready to go. I need to pick the Aida. I'm tempted to instead of stitching it, well, I should probably stitch it on 18 count Aida only because that's what the original one was stitched on. I was thinking about stitching it on perforated paper. I really want to get back into doing more things on perforated paper. It's such an easy way. It's easy to finish. You know what I mean? And somebody made a good point. The project that I have picked to take to the retreat, they said you might want to stitch some on it, at least start it, to make sure that the color of the paper and the floss and everything you're doing, you like it before you get there and you start it and you hate it and you don't have anything else. That's a really good point. I probably should bring like a backup project too. We'll see. The retreat is less than a month away. I'm leaving on April 22nd, so it's only a couple weeks away. It'll be here before we know it. All right. Talking point. And this is a good one. So this person posted, this is Laura. She posted in Cross Stitch Unlimited group. There are 83 comments on this post, by the way. So she says, I started the year with 100 whips. That's a lot. I've managed to get 12 finished. That's pretty good in the span of time that we're only 3 months into the year. But I seem to have lost my stitchy bug a bit. What do you guys do when this happens? You know, what I do when it happens to me, I give myself grace, right? Stitching, crafting, it shouldn't be something that causes you stress or angst. So I just give myself a break. And what I really try to do is I'll go on Facebook groups and I'll look at other people stitching stuff, and it usually gets me wanting to stitch again. And sometimes it's just a matter of picking up the needle and the thread, because if I set a timer for like 10 minutes, most times I'll go past that 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just about sometimes just doing it. But leave me down in the comments down below. When you get into like a slump with something like that, what do you do to get your pep back for it. So some of the comments that these people left, let me go right to the very beginning, because I'm sure that a lot of them are going to be the same. A lot of people said they just take a break. Yeah, give yourself some grace. Take a break. Read, do Sudoku, do whatever. Someone said they go outside and garden. That's a good one. And, you know, with it getting nicer outside here, there is going to be times where I will definitely sit out back. I feel like the past couple of years, our bugs have been just crazy pants. So I haven't sat out back very much. Or it's either goes from 30 degrees to 90, and there's no sitting out back when it's 90 degrees. But yeah, so someone else says, I would give yourself permission to set it aside. And someone said, the other thing I do is start a new project. But they were like, don't do that, because you already have, like, you know, that many whips. But yeah, a lot of people saying they would take a break. Someone said you might have overwhelmed yourself. Instead of enjoying stitching, you have buried yourself by only focusing on all the things you have left to get done. Chances are you won't like half those patterns when it comes time to work on them. That's true. Having that many whips, maybe the best thing, one of the things she could do is go through all of them and really just call it down. You know what I mean? Like, really look through and see, what am I really going to stitch on? What am I really going to like? Do I even not like any of these anymore? So someone said, take a break, do something else for a little while, and then, yep, sort out your patterns to those you really want to do. Just what I said. Someone said, my habit of choice is just to work on one at a time, start to finish. Then I'm not mentally overwhelmed, being concerned about all those that are not done. And that's me too. I've tried rotation many times, and it just doesn't work for me. Someone said, I either tidy my stash and look for new patterns or kits to do, maybe set up some kits. Keep looking on here and other Facebook pages for inspiration. Absolutely. Someone else said, complete something with just a little bit left. It's a great way to have a sense of accomplishment and not have to do much work. Someone said, how about designing? Someone said, I just joined this group that kind of makes it into a game. You get virtual rewards for a virtual theme park as you stitch. It's called Magic Stitchdom. Interesting. Someone said, just wait it out. See, I feel like sometimes that we put ourselves under so much pressure to constantly just be doing, creating, being productive, that just, you can stop for a couple days. You don't have to stitch every single day. Yeah, just wait it out. And someone else is a good one. I watch YouTube videos with new techniques and tips. It always makes me want to craft. Yes, that's another good one. Someone said it will come back. Someone said do other projects, diamond painting, puzzles, gardening. Yeah, I mean, all of those, housework. Do housework. Nothing inspires me more to get back to crafting. Yeah, right? Someone said, sometimes I set a kitchen timer for 15 minutes, just what I said, and just agree with myself to stitch for those 15 minutes. If I'm into it, I can continue. If not, I'm done for the day. They said I can pretty much do anything for 15 minutes. That's, yeah. Because let's face it, even if you only had 15 minutes in the day to stitch, if you set your timer and you did 15 minutes a day, you would eventually have your project done. Yeah. Okay. Those were all good suggestions. All right, I have one OMG moment, and it is one that I've shown before, but they've gotten more done on it, and I just love the project so much that I wanted to show you. This is by Deanna Crawford, and it is a pattern by 2x2 Stitch Art, and I think they're on Etsy. So it's gorgeous, and I'm pretty sure they're using a DMC color, one of the variations in the very beginning, like in the 100s. So here is what they're working on. Isn't it gorgeous? I absolutely love that. And then here's their progress. I mean, look how big this is. Stunning. And I mean, one color, but it looks like it's 5 colors. It's so utterly gorgeous. Do they link that pattern? I think it's pretty big. Let me see if they link it. Someone said I just bought 7 of her patterns because I couldn't decide. Wow. Okay, what is the 2x2 stitch art? You can look on there. Did someone link it? Did she link it? Okay, it is called Modern Cross Stitch. Let's see, I'm going to click on it. I want to see how big it is. Oh my God, she has a whole bunch. That pattern is only $3. That's cheap. It's gorgeous. But she has a whole bunch of other ones. Oh my God. Look at this one. Oh, damn. I mean, for $3. Oh, what happened? There. Look at that one. Love it. Oh my God. Dude. I'll have to peruse that. She's had 49,000 sales. That's really good. Yeah, okay, but how big is the pattern? How big is the one that... Is that the one? Yeah. It's large. It's 275 stitches by 275 stitches. On 18 count, it's 15 by 15. That's pretty big. Stunning though. Like, she has so many beautiful ones. Oh my good God. Why does it keep clicking? I don't know. Stop it. Okay, I'll look at that later because you guys don't need to see me looking at patterns. All right. I decided I was going to do another true crime story today because I feel like I just go weeks and I don't do one. So today's the second day. So today is Michelle Burgess. Michelle Burgess was a party girl. Oh boy. An attractive, if somewhat pudgy temptress prowling the nightclub scene of late 1990s Adelaide, Australia. The quintessential man-eater, Michelle chewed up lovers and spat them out, her appetite for casual sex seemingly insatiable. Oh, so we're going to have a saucy one today. Okay. That might all have been fine and well, except that 25-year-old Michelle had a husband waiting at home. Dude. No. Darren Burgess must surely have known about his wife's promiscuity, but remained loyal to her nonetheless. He had their 2 young children to think of. Good night. Okay. But even Darren had his tipping point. We all have our breaking point, let's face it. And that point came in 2001 when Michelle started sleeping with his boss. No! What? Kevin Matthews. She started sleeping with her husband's boss. Can we not? At 38, Kevin was older than Michelle's usual conquests. Balding and overweight, he was also no catch. So what's the allure there? Money? Maybe he had some good china. Told you this was going to be saucy. Then again, looks had never been much of a consideration for Michelle. She considered it an achievement to bed the man who was paying her husband's wages. That's not a goal you want to attain. And the 2 of them were hardly subtle about their affair either, openly flirting in front of Darren and in front of Kevin's wife, Carolyn. What the actual fuck is wrong with these people? Life choices, people. Haven't said that in a while. That would lead to an ugly telephone confrontation between Michelle and Carolyn. And it would also result in Darren finally calling time on his marriage. So something has to happen though, because Michelle's done something naughty later on, right? Michelle hardly batted an eye as Darren packed up his things and moved out of the family home. Good for you, Darren. Yeah, have some worth, have some self-respect, right? But she was somewhat less flippant about the breakup when she heard that Darren had a new woman in his life. I don't want you, but no one else can have you either. That was in April 2001, 3 months after Darren had walked out on her. She had hardly given him a second thought during that time, but now suddenly she started inundating him with phone calls, tearful entreaties about how much she loved him. She couldn't live without him. She's a big fat fucking liar, I'm guessing. She needed him to come back home. This was all a lie, of course. Michelle cared about as much for Darren as she did for anyone else in her life. That is to say, not at all. There was only one person who mattered to Michelle, the person she saw when she looked in the mirror. And you have to wonder, how does she treat her children? Like, what? Unfortunately for Michelle, her attempts to win back her ex would fail dismally. Thank God. Darren saw right through her plan. It wasn't him that she wanted. She just could not bear to lose him to another woman. What did I just say? But Darren was done playing the patsy. He told Michelle that it was over and urged her to move on with her life. That did not go down well. In an instant, Michelle's demeanor was transformed. The sobs turned into snarls as she swore revenge on Darren and his new love. You'd better watch your back, she warned him before slamming down the receiver. So, but why? I don't understand that. You're fucking around on him for a lot of your marriage. You bed his boss. Why do you even want to bother with him? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And this was not the only setback in Michelle's convoluted love life at this time. Kevin was still with his wife and kids and gave no indication that he planned on changing that situation anytime soon. Michelle had hoped that Carolyn would jump ship once she became aware of her husband's infidelity, but Carolyn was more resolute than that. She had no plans of surrendering her place to some hussy. Hussy! I like that. Carolyn was staying just where she was. Well, and also, why do you want to start a new relationship from the fact that you both cheated on your spouses? What's to say you're not going to do that to each other? Right? I'm guessing it's easier the second time you've done it. Or the multiple times she's done it. Michelle did it a bunch of times. Hussy. Everything that we have learned about Michelle up to this point suggests a woman with an innate talent for controlling the men in her life. What Michelle wanted, Michelle generally got. She's not getting what she wants right now, though. And right now, her sights were set firmly on a more permanent relationship with her lover, Kevin. Only Carolyn stood in her way, but Michelle had a plan for that. Oh, God, here we go. Recently, she had become reacquainted with a former lover, David Key, a drug addict with a long history of violence. Fantastic combination. Key had only just been released from prison when Michelle started working on him using sex as a weapon. In no time at all, Key was eating out of her hand, willing to do whatever she wanted. To kill someone? Really? And what Michelle wanted was the deaths of two people. Her lover's wife, Carolyn Matthews, and her estranged husband, Darren Burgess. Good fucking night. No! What, so then you have your kids full time? It took very little effort to bring Key on board, especially when Michelle sweetened the deal by offering $25,000 for each hit. Where was she getting $50,000? She even drew up 2 handwritten murder contracts. Fucking hell. Which included a photograph of each of the victims. The first to go would be mother of 3, Carolyn Matthews. Wow. On the afternoon of July 12, 2001, Michelle drove her hired assassin, David Key, to a quiet street in the Adelaide suburb of West Lakes. There she parked, waiting for her lover, Kevin Matthews, to leave his house, something that the two of them had prearranged. After just a few minutes, Kevin emerged, along with his sons aged 12, 13, and 16 years. They all piled into Kevin's car and drove off, headed for a local video store. Okay, so I'm confused. So something that Michelle and Kevin arranged? Did she arrange for him to be out of the house saying, I'm going to kill Carolyn? This was the signal that Burgess and Key were waiting for. Exiting their vehicle, they approached, catching Carolyn in the garden. The unfortunate woman was dragged inside and pinned to the floor. There, at the urging of Burgess, Key picked up a knife and started stabbing her, plunging the blade in 41 times. Fuck. Even as his victim's pleas became moans of agony. Then, with Carolyn bleeding out on the floor of the blood-spattered kitchen, the killers fled. Just moments later, Kevin's car pulled back into the drive. Oh my God. These poor children. The three boys entered the house first. It was they who discovered their mother's mutilated body, something that they will never, ever probably forget. Alerted by their screams, Kevin came running towards the kitchen. He immediately told his oldest son to call 000 or 000, was that how they say it? While he fell to his knees and tried to give CPR to his wife. But it was already too late. Carolyn's wounds were just too severe. She was stabbed 41 times. She was dead by the time the first emergency responders arrived. In cases of spousal homicide, it is almost always the surviving partner who comes under suspicion. What did I say? You're suspect number one. Kevin did a decent job of playing the grieving husband, but investigators were far from convinced. They soon established motive. Carolyn had a $100,000 life insurance policy, and her husband had been having an affair. Kevin tried to deny any impropriety with Michelle, but his phone records spoke for themselves. On the day of the murder alone, and here is probably the nail in the coffin, 16 calls had passed between the two of them. That's no coincidence, you big freaking dummies. You never hear of burner phones? Come on now. Come on now. But Kevin had obviously not wielded the knife himself since he had been at the video store with his sons when his wife was killed. So obviously now that was arranged. He was taking the sons. How can you let your kids come home and see that? That meant that at least one other person was involved, and the obvious candidate was Michelle. Michelle was therefore placed under surveillance. That was how investigators learned of her association with David, a known felon recently paroled. David was brought in for questioning but refused to talk even when the handwritten murder contract on Carolyn was found in his wallet. Again, you big freaking dummy. Why would you have that in your wallet? Your wallet? It was only when detectives revealed the true reason that Michelle wanted Carolyn dead that David agreed to talk. Michelle had sworn to him that they would be together once it was all over. Like every other man who crossed Michelle's path, he had been played. With David revealing the sordid details of the murder plot, it wasn't long before the other conspirators were in custody. Both Michelle and Kevin swore that they were innocent and that David had acted alone. But that doesn't make any fucking sense, right? David had not even known Carolyn. Amazon's at the front door, delivering my Bath & Body Works hand soap. What motive did he have to kill her? Besides, the police had Michelle's murder contract and dozens of texts and calls that had passed between her and Matthews right up to the day of the murder. You big freaking dummies again. Brought to trial at the Adelaide Magistrates Court in 2003, David entered a guilty plea and was sentenced to life in prison with parole eligibility in 20 years. Michelle and Kevin both maintained their innocence but were convicted of murder and of conspiracy to commit murder. They were each sentenced to life in prison and must serve at least 30 years before they can be considered for release. So now your kids have no parents. That's fantastic parenting. That's lovely. Michelle was shipped off to the Adelaide Women's Prison in Northfield, South Australia to begin her sentence. But even the harsh reality of a life behind bars could not quell her appetite for seduction. What? Prison officers were soon reporting to their supervisors that Michelle had attempted to seduce them. For fuck's sake. After several such incidents, the prison authorities were forced to act. A special rule had to be put in place prohibiting any male staff member from being alone with Michelle. Good night! What? What is wrong with these people? I don't even know what to say to that. I guess she thought that by sex she would be able to get special privileges. I don't know. Wow. Hussy. Hussy with a capital H, right? Good night. The next one is from 1930, so we might do that one tomorrow. But okay. Da, 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 da. Time for us to learn how to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022. Good tear. Ha! This plays on this one. You're not stuck. Your talk is. Remember, you can always change the script. You can always change the story you tell yourself. I started reading a book, one of the books that I requested from the library by Carolyn Dooner called Tired as Fuck. And just the first chapter, it completely resonated with me. If you have a minute, you should go and read that. It's pretty good. So I'm curious to read the rest. Oh, that book is called The Dream Job, by the way, not The New Job, The Dream Job. But yeah, you're not stuck. Your talk is. You can always tell yourself a different story. Or start rewriting your story right now, today, this very minute. Yeah. Okay. I hope you guys all have a fantastic Thursday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I will see you guys in my next video.